Hey everybody, welcome. We'll be starting in a few minutes. Just gotta wait for the judges and some of the projects to kick in. And we're welcoming Ricky Soul here as one of our guest judges. He is the lead alpha minter on Monkey DAO. Welcome, Ricky.
Thanks, Redfree. It's good to see you in there. Always love to hear the Savannah music.
I'm glad you like the music. I think sometimes I AFK in our demo to listen to the music.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome, DJ Rugdow. I've added you as a speaker as well. Who else is here? Blocksmith Labs just entered the building. I'm going to invite you. Familiar face, Hammer. Welcome to the show. I hope to hear you speak next week and presenting your pivot. Welcome, Stoned ICU. Familiar faces here. I'm going to invite Soul Celsius to come up as a speaker as well.
Retri, be honest with me. Did you go back to sleep?
Sorry?
Did you go back to sleep after our meeting earlier?
No, I did not.
Oh, I hope you got a nap in the middle of the day for yourself.
Hey, I'll take it as I come. It's early in the morning here in Western Australia. I know it's 4 p.m. for most of you in America. In Australia, it is 5 a.m. for me. And I woke up at 3 a.m. today to talk to Saigo and another partner. There. So everyone, this is Retromentum here behind the Savannah DAO Twitter handle, and welcome to another week of Shark Tank. Like, I'm really excited to see what's possible this week. I think we have a stellar lineup of both judges as well as projects. Like, I can't wait to hear what they're about to say. Some of their products really intrigue me. So we'll wait for more of the judges to join in and some of the projects to trickle in. In the meantime, I'll just put the Savannah music on replay here. What's up? What's up, everyone? Nox Trades, it's good to see you here. All right, I'm gonna invite Solana Storm as well as co-host. And I guess we are waiting for Moonroving to come on. I believe he's on the mountaintop with his family at this point in time, so he might be a little quiet today. But since we've got quite a nice lineup of judges coming on, it shouldn't be a problem. All right, we've got Jack Shi here, representing both NeoNexus as well as Infenza. So welcome everyone in the audience. It's cool to see some familiar faces here week after week. All right, NF Thinks is here. Am I saying your name correctly as well, NF Thinks?
Hey, Retro, it sounds to me like you might be cutting out a little bit. I don't know if it sounds like that to anyone
Okay,
else.
okay. Let me just see. Is
Yeah,
this
I think
better?
it's just the music now in the background.
All right.
Yeah, a
Man,
little
I'm
bit better.
such a boomer. Like, iPhone has so many, what do you call it? I just switched from Android to iPhone, so I'm still figuring how to use certain things. And they've got like different microphone functions here. And I'm such a boomer when it comes to this. Okay. All right. So everybody, welcome to Shark Tank on Savannah DAO. This is a program where we bring on really cool projects every week, and we try and mix it up with hype projects as well as those who are still a little under the radar. The point of this space is to encourage learning, to encourage some of the deeper questions, some of the more fundamental questions to be asked about projects that are going to be minted. Each week, we try and bring 4 projects, and we try and bring a series of guest judges as well. This week, we welcome this really stellar lineup of judges. I guess I want to open it up to them to introduce themselves. Let's start with NF Thinks, Ricky, Frank, as well as Nox Trades. If you can just briefly introduce yourself, a bit about your background, and what sort of like investment criteria are you from? Are you for utility? Are you for games? Are you for the art? And what sort of degen are you? Let's take it from there.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm NF Thanks. In real life, I'm an investment banker and lawyer. And I've been in Solana since this summer. The NFTs, at least, I've been invested since earlier than that, and was in ETH as well. As far as what I'm looking for, my investment thesis, I tend to go towards blue chips, or if there is Ponzi, then I look directly for a service that is a differentiator. And by that, I mean something more along the lines of a staking platform that has an active clientele, or a something that will provide mortgaging in the future. So an actual differentiated service. But yeah, that's just me.
Yeah, I guess I'd heard my name second, so I'll go next. This is Ricky. Turns out in real life, I am also a lawyer. But in the metaverse, I serve as Monkey DAO's chief. We call them alpha mentors. I didn't come up with that name, but we're effectively the whitelist coordinators for the Monkey DAO. So on a typical week, I'll talk to 30 or 40 different projects about what they're doing and when they're minting and all the details about that. And of course, if they want to give us some whitelist spots. So I've sort of honed some criteria that I like to ask projects through that process. As for myself, I'm a true art degen. I'm just a sucker for good art. I don't really care about utility as much. I have a lot of shit in my wallet that looks good but isn't worth much, and that's okay by me.
I think I'm up next, right?
Yes, you are.
Nox Trades. Been in the Solana space since pretty much, I don't know, May of last year. Was around when the Monkeys launched and Solarians launched, and back before there even was a Candy Machine. I think everybody's tastes kind of evolve as the entire ecosystem evolves. Because, if you'd asked me 6 months ago, what do I think is cool? I would have said, PFP projects, because that's the only thing that existed. Then along comes utility, and then comes tech companies who are posing as NFTs that are really just trying to do like venture capital funding. And now you're starting, because of the whitelist meta, now you're starting to see like DAOs that are also doubling as venture capital firms. So, it's kind of fun to be in the space and just be a part of everything that's happening. I do really like art too. So I wouldn't really peg me down as to one particular style.
All right, and we have
Knox likes
Fracture.
everything.
Okay.
It's true.
Yeah, so I guess I'm up here now. Hey everyone, my name is Frank. I am the co-founder of Solana Storm. I came into space to help provide a platform that is going to help end rugs and really just create a platform that can build and make Solana better as a whole. So that's kind of a little bit about myself. From my background, I love utility, but I also do love the integrity of a team. So if I can hear the owner or somebody speak for the project, I really like to listen in and hear what they have to say about their project, because there's a ton of stuff that people are building that I'll never think of, which is great because I'm always listening and always learning. So I'm definitely more focused on projects that have high ambitions and definitely a ton of integrity around their project. So those are kind of the projects that I look to invest in.
All right, so there you go. That's our lineup of judges today. So as we know, the format that we'll be using is every project gets about roughly 15 minutes of airtime. They are given 5 minutes to introduce themselves, their team, and their project. Sort of nail that pitch in 5 minutes. Judges will then ask a series of questions, raise their concerns, and outline their thoughts about the project. Now, any participant is able to respond as they seem fit. And we do encourage judges here to really ask the deep questions and try to get to the bottom of the investment thesis, or try and dig deeper as to what these projects are trying to build. We encourage judges to be themselves and not censor anything that they say. So to answer your question, yes, a certain amount of swearing is allowed on this show. Now, at the end of airtime, judges will state whether they'll be minting a project, adding the project to their watch list, or passing on the opportunity. Now, I want to remind members of the audience here that just because a judge might not be minting doesn't mean you shouldn't mint or shouldn't look into a particular project. Nothing here constitutes as investment advice. Judges may have their own different sort of profile or background, and they might look for different things in different projects. And the order that we'll be going today will be first off Degen Rugdao, second Sol Celsius, third Blocksmith Labs, and fourth Infenzia Misfits, who is also part of Neon Nexus World. Now, at the end of 15 minutes, I will be playing a clip from Steven Tyler, and he'll be screaming in the background. And that's sort of a cue that, at the end of 5 minutes, I'll be playing Steven Tyler screaming in the background. And that's sort of a cue so that you know that your 5 minutes to pitch is up. Now, here's what it kind of sounds like. There you go. And there we have it. Now, just because we have quite a number of judges here today, feel free to use the raise hand function that Twitter Spaces provide. And feel free to just unmute your microphone and jump in whenever you want. We want to keep the conversation candid and as fun as possible. And we hope everyone can learn something new today. So good luck to our participants. I hope you survive this panel of judges today. I know I'm excited. Let us kick it off with Degen Rugdao. Let's kick this thing off.
Hey, good morning to everybody, or good afternoon. I am FG, the director of the Degen Rugdao. So, a little bit about myself. I'm in the crypto space since 2016 and the NFT space since last year. So, that's that's me. About my project, the Degen Rugdao is the primary purpose of Degen Rugdao is to improve the community by derugging projects that have been rugged, and to add to that, we'll also be developing the Rug Insurance Protocol token, which the members of the DAO will have early access to, but will be available to the public later on. Users who will mint these Rug Insurance tokens gets a partial refund if they ever minted a Rug project. The DAO will also have yield farming and an exclusive app that tracks your Solana NFT holdings, price movements, analytics, and the creator's NFT transactions. So basically, you'll get notified if you've ever been rugged. So yeah, that's the general thing. So being a member of the DAO can grant you access to the royalties and the secondary market royalties. 85% in total. DAO can assign the DAO. Uh, sorry. The DAO can assign chairmans who will handle the DAO funds. Can either be used for yield farming and reward distribution for the DAO members. So derugging projects and preventing rug projects by issuing refunds and also helping rug victims and while while benefiting from helping the victims are our main purpose. So yeah, that's it for now. If you have any questions, just please do so.
Yeah,
Yeah,
is
I
the
guess
team fully doxed? And also, what's the difference between this and Radrugs?
Radrugs just verifies the integrity of the project, and we are the main purpose of our project is to derug and preventing rugs by issuing a refund.
so. I'd like to jump in as well because I think this is a super interesting project. Obviously, in real life, insurance is a highly regulated industry, and kind of for good reason because you really have to get the math super correct in order to be able to A, make a profit, and B, actually compensate people who need your insurance services. So I'm wondering a few things about your team. Like, do you have anyone who has insurance experience? Do you have mathematicians or actuaries, anything like that? And second, how are you going to decide which projects you are willing to insure? Is it just going to be any project, or will you have a specific list?
So the first thing is to release the project to the DAO, right? For early access. So from then on, we will scale the pricing of it based on like kind of a testing phase. So we have acquired professionals who will be helping us on the get-go for this project. So the funding from it will come directly from the primary mint revenue and the yield farming for our the DAO's yield farm.
Yeah, so I was kind of asking a slightly different question. Let me maybe put this into a concrete example so that we're all on the same page. But say I mint one of your NFTs so that I can be insured against a rug, right? And then I go out and I mint that project and say it's for one soul and I get 5 of them. How much of a refund am I going to get? How are you going to be able to pay out those refunds? What happens if everybody who minted one of your NFTs also minted the rug project? I just want to know how you're handling and managing all of this risk.
Yeah, it's it's the scalability will be a challenge, but it can be solved by this testing phase for exclusive testing phase for the DAO. So the funding from it will come from the primary mint revenue, and then maybe like a 60% refund, 60 to 75% refund for the rug NFT that you
And
minted.
does that depend on the price of the NFT that minted? I mean, what if it's a 2.5 soul mint? How are you going to be able to afford to compensate those victims when I think your NFT mints for 0.8? Is that right?
Yeah, it will be yes, it will be scaled depending on the price of the NFT. It's we have 5,000 supply, and the pre-sale starts at zero point 0.8. The public sale will be at 1.5 sol.
Okay, I don't want to dominate if there are other judges that want to jump in, but with real insurance, you have premiums that are, scaled to your relative degree of risk. If I'm a skydiver, my premiums are going to be higher. In the same way, I would think you would want to have different prices for people who are true degens and are minting everything versus people who are minting, only things like Yakuverse or really, credible mints. So how do you prevent people who are complete degens from getting your insurance and then just draining you because they're so risky with their behaviors?
Yeah, it's like we have this form that you fill up, and there are just pre-listed projects for that day. So when you'll be minting, for example, a project that costs 1.5 sol or 2 sol, it's listed already there. So we'll have people who will be investigating each of those projects. So when the users or minters who chose a shady project who are minting or launching that day will add a warning sign, and it will be scaled just down to 40% refund. That's my solution for that, I guess.
Okay, I see. Yeah, that is responsive. Thank you.
Any other questions from the other guest judges?
Yeah, I mean, my concerns kind of echo the previous questions. I worked in insurance for 5 years, and the collection of premiums based on risk behavior is going to be a very important factor to nail down, especially, most insurance policies these days have a recurring payment. So that way you have, because rugs will recur, and therefore you're going to need a recurring stream of revenue to make that happen. Um, so one of the things that you encounter very frequently is someone buys a policy for cheap, because that's why the policies exist, is they cost less than the amount that you could potentially lose. Um, so people buy a policy for cheap, file a claim the next day, and then cancel the policy the next week. So that way they basically get their claims paid for very, very cheap. I don't know if you've given any sort of thought to how you could maintain recurring revenue streams in order to, and also how you're going to handle situations like a cool down period for people who are holding and trying to buy insurance.
Yeah, it's the scalability that's very challenging for us, but the the team will ensure the income stream from the DRUGs. So aside from the drug insurance protocol token, we'll also have DRUGs. So the DRUGs will benefit the victims and the DAO members. So the DAO treasure will be used for the compensation of the for the what's that for the drug victims, or for the insurance protocol token refunds. So yeah, that's how we will have that steady income stream. And as I've said, the scalability for warnings of the project, if it's shady, we will be giving 40% or maybe even 30% if it's really that bad of a project. We will be investigating it, and we'll be coordinating it with their respective launch pads for the project. And yeah, investigation, all of that is covered by Radrugs, but we will be issuing more than investigations and insurance policies. So yeah. we'll also be we are also open for like a membership program, like outside our DAO, so the public can be a member of that insurance. So with like a weekly deposit for if you ever minted, so you don't have to mint the token every day to mint something. So yeah.
So I had a quick question. So in order to get these tokens for the insurance, you're gonna have to own your NFT. Am I following that correctly?
Yes, at first it will be exclusive only to the DAO for like a testing phase. Then
Okay.
if it's all well and done, we'll be opening it to the public.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I kind of had similar concerns as Ricky was saying, and the fellow before me as well, with the premiums and stuff like that. I think that there's got to be a focus there.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this exclusively for the DAO at the early access, and we'll be opening it on a later date after we iron out the details and everything, the scalability and all that.
So have you guys thought about what would happen if, say, there's like a major rug, thinking of like Balloonsville, where everybody mints it, no one really saw it coming, and that kind of thing, would probably just completely deplete your resources. What would you do in that kind of situation?
Yeah, the solution for that will be as well. The main focus is to derug, right? So we will derug it instead of reissuing or insuring the rug members, rug victims, right?
Okay,
So
let me
we'll
ask you
just
this then.
derug it.
Why should the community, and this is going to be a tough question, so I apologize, but why should the community trust you to derug a project? Do you have developers? Do you have community managers? Do you have all of the resources that will make a project successful?
Yeah, well, right now we're just two people on the team, but we have seven people on standby after we launch and make an IRL office for our project. So we'll keep updating the community for the progress on Instagram or on Twitter. So they will get to know. Of course, doxing is a very essential part of it. So we will add professionals like from insurance agencies and devs, also artists.
Thank you for our guest judges for raising all these questions as well. Thank you, DJen Rugdale, for being under the spotlight like that. I guess we are running out of time for DJen Rugdale. Judges, if you don't mind, final questions and then your verdict. And DJen Rugdale, maybe if you'd like to address it very quickly at the end, would be good.
Yes, I think I asked all my questions, but I'm going to go ahead and pass on this one for now. I think it's a good idea, and someone, it may be this project, it may be another project, is going to implement this and do it really well. But it's all in the details, and I just don't feel like the details are quite there for this team yet. They may be after doing the testing phase. So I'm gonna pass for now, and then maybe in a couple of months I'll come back to this project.
Yeah, I'm on a similar boat here. I think what you guys are doing is truly a great thing. I think you just gotta have a more focused area, and I think that if you can do some testing with your some of your communities to see how it can play out, I think it could be great. So for myself, I'm definitely gonna put this on the watch list because I do like what you guys have to offer. I just think you can take it to the next level, and as Ricky was saying, kind of look into how you can focus more, maybe reach out to professionals to see how you can really ramp up your team, both before and after your mint. But yeah, I think that this is definitely a watch list for me, and definitely looking to see what you guys do in the future.
Yeah, for me right now, it's a pass. But I do like the intention. I think that intention is really important, and I think that what you're trying to do is really good for the community. I just doesn't fit my own personal investment thesis.
Knox.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my turn now. Yeah, so this is going to be a pass for me because the devil is also in the details. I would revisit this after the testing phase is done. I want to see results. I want to see cash flow analysis. Insurance companies are all graded. Every single state, at least in the United States, has a Department of Insurance that mm, regulates what insurance companies are allowed to be admitted within their state, and they're all given a grade. And that grade is based on their cash flow analysis, effectively, and how they perform their investments and everything like that. Until I see those types of things, I'm not going to invest in an insurance company.
Awesome stuff. DJ and Rugdale, if you could just put in a final statement before we pass it on to Soul Celsius. Thank you so much, judges.
Yeah, I appreciate all the comments and opinions, and I haven't really done the numbers. I haven't really revealed the numbers, but it's there on our Discord. So if anyone likes to view it, you can freely view it. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Hey, I'll jump in and say, hey guys, it's Moon. Obviously, I'm out with the family, so I'm not fully tuned in. What I would say is grateful for you and the future projects that come on the show today. This is not an easy show to come on with the pushback, but if you believe in the vision and the project, keep pushing forward, and you'll learn from this experience. And thank you for having the guts to jump up and be a part of this. And I apologize for not being fully tuned in. We're actually hanging out in the hot tub here with the family, so I'm not fully listening. But I will say, one, grateful for Savannah letting me kind of co-host this with you on long term. But two, to all the projects jumping on, this is not an easy forum, right? To come in and say, this is our idea, this is our strategy, and they get pushback from guys like Knox, who I totally respect, Ricky as well, and others. Like, kudos to you guys. You guys are huge. Thanks for coming in and giving some feedback. But also the projects. Thank you guys for having the guests to come on and hear the perspective and grow from this opportunity as well. So I'll go back on mute, but cheers to you guys.
Love it. Thanks, Moon Roving, for chiming in. Soul Celtics, you've got your 5 minutes of airtime if you're ready.
Yeah, all right. So my name's Logan. We have two of us that made this project. It's gonna be me and myself and Benny. Benny gonna make it on Twitter, and Logan gonna make it on Twitter. And we're we made this project together, and we've always been passionate about seltzers and drinking and stuff whenever we've been together and stuff. So we're both 26 years old, and our team is consisted of me and him. We have an artist named Oil. He's a project dev over in Bitwhips, and our devs and launchpad is going to be Solana Storm. And before I really get into the pitch and stuff, and the future of our project, I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Savannah, Frank, and the Solana Storm team for giving us a chance with our vision and working with us and giving us the next step to really make our idea a reality. And we really appreciate everything, and we can't wait to work with you guys in the future. And just a big thank you to everyone here. Taking times out of your day to listen to us here presenting new ideas and projects within the community really does mean a lot. So, Solana or Soul Seltzers is we're a family first. We're community driven, and our main priority really is to build community. We share the same vision as Frank, as he said earlier, in the Solana Storm team in terms of making Solana a better place. That's our goal, and we're striving on a daily basis, and hopefully our project reflects that for everyone involved with us. And we have an open door policy, and our DMs are always open, whether it's Discord, Twitter, whatever we decide to use, whatever people are reaching out for, whether it's NFTs, investing, other projects, crypto, life situations. I myself, and I'm sure everyone here has had bad days, so we definitely know how that is, and we're always here to talk to anyone that needs that. And with that said, let me get into the goals of Soul Seltzers. So our first real milestone that we're looking to get to is we're going to integrate tokenomics and with staking, and we want to call that token tabs, like the top of a seltzer can, and we want to have people earn passive income by staking, and we want to call that like recycling, and using that to really be able to you can transfer it to Soul if that's your choice, but really we're making merch, and we want to use that as an option to buy merch of our products that we decide to do. And we moving on in the future, we want to integrate tabs into more ideas and grow it, so we can further raise the value of the token and make people want to hold it more. So 20% of all secondary sales on marketplaces will be going back to the community wallet, and that'll be like kind of the DAO aspect of the community. They're going to make that decision on what we do with like the money that we allocate into that wallet, and they're going to be making large decisions moving forward. Now, the first like big goal that we have for our project is we're looking to create an iOS drinking game, like an app that involves kind of like a jack of all trades, and it's like small games within a game. So the best example that I have for that would be kind of like playing Mario Party. I'm not sure if anyone's ever played that game, but it's kind of like a free for all, like everyone competing against each other, and there's like small games. Like it could be a 2-on-2, a 3 versus 1, or a free for all. Small games inside the game. And the goal is not really like a winner, I guess you could say. It would be more of like who doesn't drink. So like whoever loses those small games, it would be like someone drinking. So I think that's going to be a fun way to move our project forward and get people involved. But we also tend to do ad revenue for that, and integrate that into our game to kind of like promote a bit of like a pause into the game, because like games like these, it's easy to drink fast and stuff, and like we're all about drinking responsibly and making sure people are safe. So it kind of promotes water breaks and stuff like that, and like just small breaks, and that'll gain ad revenue, and percentage of that will be going back to holders. And the thing that we're really most excited about is we plan to actually brand our own real life seltzer, and it's a part of the project that's like the biggest goal for us. Manufacturing and branding a hard seltzer. I mean, it's going to take a lot of time and resources when it's all said and done. But I think that's really going to move our project along to where we actually end up doing like, or becoming a blue chip. And we plan to give a good percentage of revenue and on a weekly and monthly basis for earnings and stuff. So that's one of the big things that we got going on there, and that's really our biggest thing. We plan to also put in a generation into our project. It's not something that we've told our launch pad. It's not something that we've put in our white paper. It's not something that we've ever said publicly. So everyone here is kind of getting some extra information. So something that Benny and I have talked about for years, before we even knew about NFTs, and before we even knew this existed, was opening our own smoke shop. So that idea is going to be based on a new generation. So, and we're going to think about calling it Soul Vapes, and a percentage of revenue and sales that we make at the smoke shop location will actually be given back to holders. And this will be like kind of a separate entity within our project, but to actually get that revenue and that like percentage revenue, you would have to own a Soul Seltzer. So it's going to be like a separate entity in our project, but it's also going to be an integration that like kind of boosts both ideas at the same time. And we actually plan later on, like when we brand and manufacture our own seltzers, to actually sell in our store. So yeah, if there's any questions.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and kick us off again. So looks like your supply is 999, selling for 1 Soul. So you get
Correct.
about 80 grand after the mint, and you've got some really lofty goals here. How much of this do you think you'll be able to do with 80 grand?
Yeah, so 80 grand it is kind of, it does seem like in the the big whole grand scheme of things, like it does seem like a small number, but we've actually talked to someone local here where we live, and we've actually like shot a couple numbers out. Like it's much larger number, don't get me wrong, but we're definitely going to start on a small scale, and we're actually looking for like investors too, like another reason why we're here, and like little things like that in the future, like when we move more towards that idea. So it's definitely going to be like it's definitely going to be expensive, but I mean I think we can do it. That along with the game that we have coming out with ad share and stuff, like hopefully that does well, and I think that we can do it later on in the future.
Have you started developing the game yet? Do you know roughly what that's going to cost?
No, the game we've not started developing. We have all the ideas ready and stuff. We're just we're looking for a good like dev to use that idea and bring that to us.
I'm going to tell you as a dev right now that I would charge you more than double $80,000 to do that. But I mean, I'm definitely bullish on gaming, and I'm definitely bullish on party gaming like Mario Party. You will, if you're under the exact same umbrella, also thinking about making, an alcoholic beverage with a seltzer with it, you've got a tremendous liability under your belt there, and the insurance is going to cost you $80,000. So I think the first thing I would revisit is supply and money.
Okay.
Yeah. So in a past life, I used to actually work at PepsiCo, and I mean, $80,000 is not going to buy you anything as far as that portion of the roadmap. So, I like the excitement that you have, and I think that what I would focus on is clearly delineated goals and like very, very thought out and realistic ETAs for each step, and some thought behind the investment needed to get there for each step. Because, I mean, look, you'd probably need like $2 million to do all the things you want to do.
Yeah, and I completely understand that. I mean, that's one of the reasons like why we're here. I mean, I don't expect anyone to give us, that kind of money, but I just wanted to get ideas out and just like, get you guys' thoughts and stuff like that. I really do appreciate that. I just wanted to make sure that everyone knew like this is one of the reasons why we're here. We're trying to grow our community and grow as much as we possibly can and make this an idea that can actually be a reality.
So for all the people who are out there thinking about minting your project, what can you actually promise them with the 80 grand? Because it doesn't sound like we're going to be able to get a seltzer off the ground. It doesn't sound like maybe, we're going to be able to get the smoke shop off the ground with that money. So what can you give them just using the mint proceeds?
So, well, I mean, we're gonna be community based. Like we're definitely gonna be a DAO. So, we're gonna put a good amount into the community wallet, and they're gonna have the choice to do, blue chips. If we invest in blue chips, we sweep floors. They're gonna have the real power here for that kind of thing. So we can promise them, airdrops, with what they do with the community wallet money. That we can promise, right at the beginning and stuff, and then obviously the tokenomics and staking right at the beginning.
I don't know how bad Sol's down today, but I think you can buy like maybe 3 blue chips with 80 grand. Which ones were you thinking about getting?
Oh, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, it's their choice really. So, I mean, I think there's a lot more blue chips than like. I mean, I'm not expecting to go buy like 4 Taio robots or you know what I mean, like things like that. I just it's all their decision. Whatever they decide to do. I mean, I think there's plenty of blue chips and upcoming projects out there that are good investments for passive income.
I see you've also got this this big trip for 3 winners to some big city. How much do you have budgeted for that? Is that going to deplete a lot of the mint revenues as well?
Oh no, it shouldn't cost. I wouldn't say it should cost more than $2,000 a person, really. I mean, we're just paying for plane tickets, hotel rooms. I really don't see that being more than $2,000, 1,500 at most.
Okay. And how about there's a plan to do some prizes after the mint. Can you share anything more about that? And I see there's on the
So we're
roadmap something
actually
about
we're
airdrops.
integrating. Oh, sorry about that. We're integrating Twitch.tv into our project like really big, and we've actually been doing giveaways like here and there, like stream days a couple times a week, and we actually are using Twitch also to like show people like the progress that we're going in, and like actually showing people work that we're actually getting done, and like like whether it's and then also giveaways. So the giveaway aspect of it, we're going to be giving away like random NFTs that we decide to use, or random soul airdrops and stuff like that, just like to random winners inside Twitch, like that are watching and stuff. Whether it's playing, I don't know if you know the game Marbles. It's a really common game that people play on Twitch for giveaways and stuff like that. We've been doing that already as it is.
So just to build on this too, I kind of had questions around the apparel side of things because as you know, everyone's been saying is like you need a ton of money up front, to really protect yourself with all of this alcoholic beverages and the games you want and stuff. Kind of, what's your take on building from the apparel side of things? Because the apparel is a huge like commodity in the space, and I think a lot of the bigger companies, I think NF Thinks was saying about PepsiCo, they do a ton of clothing and brands like that, like Coca-Cola. So kind of what's your take on that? Do you guys think now that you've heard all of this feedback, do you think maybe you could focus on that, or kind of just what would your focus be?
Yeah, I mean that's definitely an avenue that I mean that we can talk about taking and stuff. Like when it comes to like branding and actually doing this stuff, I think that could definitely be an avenue that we take for like a profit standpoint and using that towards larger ideas that we have within this. Now we're definitely like with everything else, we're definitely going to be starting out on a very small scale. So we don't want to like overuse money that we have, like, and based on what you guys are saying, like you don't think it's a good amount to begin with to use this money. So we're definitely going to start on a small scale for that, and we'll see how it grows from there.
Thank you very much, Soul Celsius, for coming up to speak. Thanks for the judges as well. Let's bring it on to final questions, and then we'll get the judges' verdict, and then Soul Celsius can wrap up. Thanks a lot, and judges, feel free to ask your final questions.
Yeah, I mean, look, this isn't a question, it's just a word of advice. Like, you know, I would narrow the scope because what I hear is like a lot of excitement from the team around this, and that's awesome, right? That excitement leads to innovation. So maybe narrow the scope like honestly like a lot, just for launch. And you can always come out with a Gen 2 or a Gen 3 if there's stickiness. But I'd work on building a community first with maybe one of the ideas.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead, Retri.
If there are no other questions, maybe final comments and verdict from judges.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be a pass for me. I believe in you guys. I think you're going to get there. I really do, because it's just the passion just comes through when you're speaking. There's just too little money and too many ideas right now, so it's going to be a pass for me.
Yep, same for me right now. But again, like I like the energy, and I think that if you come up with an executable first generation, then that's a really good way to start, right? Just break up the project into different gens, and build one by one. Because remember that, like, you have a really long-term goal, and you have to keep that community strong the entire way, because that's your investor base. And there's a new project every day. So I really focus on building that community and narrowing the scope. But for right now, until you do, it's going to be a pass for me.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm also going to pass, but I got to give you credit. Your enthusiasm really does shine through, and it takes a lot of balls to come up in front of these people and pitch your idea and your roadmap. So, kudos on the bravery to do this. Echoing the same sentiment that everybody else has said at this point, the raise is too small. The ideas are too huge. I think if you narrow it down and focus on just delivering, and that's the key word there, is delivering one product, then you're off to a good start. You can start working on ways to get recurring revenue and then start building the next thing. Tackle it one brick at a time instead of trying to build the whole house in one fell swoop. And the last thing I would say is, especially if your fundraising is so small, don't give any of it away. Not until you've delivered something. When you talk about giving away a $2,000 vacation stipend to 3 people, that's almost 10% of your budget right there. So I think it was like 7.5%. I don't think it comes out to be. Don't do that. Keep your money and spend it on developing a product that you promise people.
Yeah, just to build on what Knox was saying, he hit everything on the head that I was going to say. I think the most important part for you guys is to really build that strong community, because you can really build something strong there. But the most important part is going to be the execution, the execution from each of the different phases, whether it be different generations and stuff, is really what's going to keep your community around for the long time. So I think doing it that way and having it as an iterative process will definitely help you reach your goals in the long run, because you'll figure out different revenue avenues. But yeah, I think you guys are super ambitious, and I give you a lot of props for coming on, because it's not easy to come on here. Um, but yeah, I think having a more narrow focused, a real execution roadmap in front of you can really help you in the long term. And just looking into like growing your community and maybe looking for partnerships to help you, because I think the Soul Seltzer brand name could be something huge in the future. But yeah, I think the more narrow minded focus and execution is going to really help you along the way.
Thank you very much, judges, for voicing your opinions. And thank you so much, Soul Seltzers, for coming on. On a personal note, I love the energy and enthusiasm, and I love young founders as well. So I really want to watch what your team will do. If there's any tweaks or pivot that you'll be bringing to your product. And on a personal note, it is actually a watch list on my part. But before that, maybe just a final word from Soul Celsius, and then we are going to pass it on to Blocksmith Labs.
Yeah, so I just want to say again, thank you for everyone that listened, and the judges. I really do appreciate everyone's feedback. That gives me a lot of insight, gives me and Benny a lot of insight for our project. And I do think we're actually going to revisit this, and actually, I really do think we should narrow. Oh, sorry, did I? All right. Anyways, I just wanted to thank everyone here, all the judges. We are going to revisit this stuff, and you know, um, I really do think you guys are right in terms of narrowing things down. If we do narrow things down, I feel like, over the course of time, we could definitely, gain money and gain enough like traction within our community and stuff to really build something great. And, community is our main goal here. So that's definitely something that we're going to be working on a daily basis. So thank you guys so much for having us.
Hey, thank you for coming on. I know it's not easy, and being a young founder, use this as a learning curve. Blocksmith Labs, let's welcome you to the stage.
Hey, I'm Alex, aka Kryptonite. I'm the co-founder of Blocksmith Labs. Today, I would like to talk about Blocksmith Labs and what we do, our team, our short-term goals, mid-term and long-term goals, and all of that stuff. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. So first about the team, I'm Alex, also Kryptonint. Um, I've been in the Web2 space for 10 years. Like my Web2 credentials are ex Coinbase. I left Coinbase recently to do Web3 and Solana full time. And then I was ex Apple before that. And then the Web3, I've built DMAP, staking, raffles, and auctions for DGODs. I think some of you might have probably used some of those. And yeah, that's about me. And the second one, second co-founder, is Harmy. He built Soulful.io, which is a portfolio tracking tool. And then he built Mercury, which is a whitelist management tool. I'll come back to Mercury in a bit because that's our headline product at the moment. Yeah, and he built most of Mercury in 2 weeks, and then he also has a Discord Rarity Sniper, and then Mert, who's also our co-founder. We are three of us, and then Mert is a Coinbase employee, and then he built open source sales bar and is also a Solana researcher. He's well known in the space for writing fire threads. Yeah, that's about the team. And okay, the our headline product is Mercury. I haven't told to the community yet, but we have just hit 15,000 users on Mercury. Like people, signed up to on Mercury, connect their wallets, whitelisted, all of that. We just hit 15,000. And then another huge announcement. I want to use this platform, if I can, to announce this. We are also going multi-chain by the end of next week at the latest. Okay, before that, I'd like to explain about Mercury a little bit. Okay, so the whitelist matter is a huge thing right now in Solana, right? So different kinds of whitelists. We have whitelist addresses, whitelist tokens, SPL tokens, NFT whitelist addresses. So we feel like this is a problem and a pain point that needs to be solved for projects and also users as well. So for the projects, they can like sign up their project within us and whitelist with us. Export addresses, grant, revoke, roles, whitelist roles, and then do all of that stuff. For users, it's simple. You just log in with your Discord, and then so Mercury is totally built around Discord. So it's designed in a way that it can scale to multiple chains without having to do much, because that's how we're able to expand to we are integrating MetaMask in the next week, so that's how we're able to do it easy. Yeah, so for users, it's simple. You just go there, connect your wallet, actually connect multiple wallets, set a default wallet, and then go to the project and click on a verify button, and then you whitelist it. That's all you have to do. When the users go and see, they see. So usually we're all in a fuck ton of Discord servers. Like I have like 150 servers, I guess. I don't know what server is whitelisting right now, or where they're doing their whitelist wallet submission. So uh, we've identified all of these problems and built some tool extremely useful right now. And uh, to be honest, we have not monetized it yet, because our first goal is to acquire a fuck ton of users. Every single Solana user, I'm telling you, will be using Mercury in a few weeks or months, because we've already like 15,000 users. How many users? 100,000 users Solana that use NFT. So, and then also go ETH is also huge with whitelist matter, right? People do all kinds of crazy shit to get whitelisted. So that's also huge. So our first goal is to acquire like a lot of users, and then build a moat around it, and then monetize it. Not the other way around. Like uh, you know promise people royalties and value add, and then build a shitty product no one uses, and then you get 0.002 solve per week, all of that. Okay, about that, yeah. First, we identify problems, pain points, and then build great products, and then monetize it, and then try to add value to the holders. So that's about Mercury. That's our like short-term goal. We are going hard on Mercury at the moment, because whitelist matters right now. It couldn't be there probably in a few weeks. The space moves fast, so no one really knows. So we are adapting, but right now it works. So we are doubling down on it. Yeah, so that's about Mercury. And midterm goals, we are going to work on the DAO tooling, specifically, laser focused on NFT DAOs. So, like we have been seeing a lot of DAOs. I mean, I have a lot of hot takes about DAOs. That's a conversation for a different day. But yeah, for DAOs, for example, you don't really know what the DAOs are spending, what the NFTs the DAO is holding. So we are going to build an NFT focused DAOs that you can see. Let's just say you go to homepage, you see a list of DAOs and then their holdings. So, okay, you go to SMB, you see all of their NFT holdings. And then you see the DAO wallet, how much all of them are holding, and then all the transactions always going. So, if you're interested in, some of these, you could go and join their DAOs. We also intend to build job boards um, and grants and bounties within the DAO tooling, so that you could join their DAO, have take a shot at the bounties and all of that. Okay, that's the midterm goal. So the long term goal is to make this self-sustaining and profitable enough that it the DAO, the Blocksmith DAO, can run itself. Not completely autonomously, because I believe like complete decentralized autonomy for DAOs is not really the way to go, because it's not efficient. It takes a lot of time. It's conflated. I believe the DAOs need leaders, probably not one leader, but in a council of members. And everyone elects. If they don't like them, they can get out. You can vote them out. So I have some ideas around governance, and we'll also be building that. Yeah, and also the other long-term goal is you want to fund developers in the space, grants and bounties. And for example, we could set a grant that build something cheaper, uh, build a swap using cheaper aggregator, and then set a platform fees, and then all of the platform fees, that that the DApp acquires goes back to adding value to uh, our holders, Blocksmith Lab holders. That's one thing. And the final thing I haven't told you is, how do we add value to our holders? What reason do we give for someone to ape in, get a higher rank, get fucked ton of them, like 20, 30 of Blocksmith Lab NFTs? Okay. First, we are going to do raffles and auctions. I mean, I know this might look familiar because I built them for D cards. What I intend to do different is, they're going to be weighted raffles. So it's going to be weighted by ranks, and it's also going to be weighted by the number of NFTs you hold. For example, the DAO has whitelist spots, and then we raffle them, and then all of those. For example, someone holds 30 NFTs, Blocksmith holder NFTs, and they get a better chance at winning these raffles, or these auctions. And this might change once we have our token and the tokenomics, all of that figured out. We don't want to just straight away jump into building our own token, because if you don't have utility, it doesn't make sense. And figuring out tokenomics is a big task in itself. I'm not saying I'm not a big tokenomics expert. We will get tokenomics experts, and then we will figure it out. But yeah, that's not our immediate priority. And then, like, as a team, we understand that this space moves fast, and then we adapt and change things, pivot, and change our roadmap. So anything I say right now could be invalid in a couple of weeks, and I could look stupid. But yeah, we're willing to adapt and build based on how the space moves.
All right, I'll go first on this one.
Yep.
So that was just a humongous amount of information, in particular, focused on things that may or may not happen. It sounds
Yep.
like there was a lot of just like reading your whiteboard of all of these random ideas that you've had on the table. I kind of felt like it was the Charlie Day scene of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, where he's like, Carol, like this. You are a builder. You guys are builders. I can hear that in your voice, in your background. The things that you've already produced are there, and Mercury is an astounding accomplishment, is what it sounds like, that you want to put your staple in the ground. When you come on a 5-minute pitch show, just Tell me what you've done. Tell me what you're going to do short term, and why is it a good investment? I don't want to hear about all of these things that could happen someday, but maybe not because in 2 weeks things will change. That's we don't want to hear that. So
Okay.
that being said, you have some astounding expertise that would absolutely put you on my okay. I got to keep my eyes on these guys. My list. Really, really intrigued by Mercury. So my questions are: you mentioned integrating with Ethereum. I'm curious and solving whitelist meta because whitelists are starting to pop up over on Ethereum. But then along the way, you're talking about let's monetize it someday. And I want to focus in on just the whitelist meta and maybe the DAOs because out of everything you said, that was where I heard the most opportunity. How would you go about monetizing those things when free solutions already exist?
Okay. Ours is also a free solution. The monetizing could not be, directly just asking for them, a monthly subscription. Or so our plan is to take a percentage of the whitelist. Let's just say a hype mint and 1,000 collection. We say we want 5%. Because it's free right now, any project can use. We say let's give us 5% whitelist because and then we raffle those spots for our holders, and then our holders can have weighted raffles and then win the raffles and then get value that way.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so as someone who spends 5 to 6 hours a day just facilitating whitelists for people, I am really excited for the influx of whitelisting tools. But I'm sure you realize this is not the first or only whitelisting tool. There's Frontlist, which Flaw is developing. There's another one called Polar something, and those are I've seen starting to gain traction with some more like B plus tier mints that are coming up. Have you heard of those tools, and how is Mercury better competing with those tools?
Okay. I have seen a couple of tools pop up. I've actually seen a tool. I don't remember the name. So they exactly copied our layout, but they don't have the tech yet. I've seen these tools pop up, but okay. That's why I was saying we want to acquire as many users as possible because we want to build a moat and get a lot of users. Like, for example, we already have 15,000 users. Like, what if we acquire 50,000 users or 100,000 users, all of Solana users, and then build a moat around it, and then have that first that okay, time to market is really important in Solana, right? And then we have a tool that already Blueterra and Project Hive and a lot of these A tier projects have already used Mercury, and we have some legitimacy in the space. And then we're not charging anything for them, right? So we only intend to monetize in different ways by asking them whitelist. Yeah, so we also have some other ideas that I don't really want to talk about at the moment.
Well, let's just focus on the Mercury piece then, because I really am excited about this, but I just see a lot of friction points. So when you say that you have 15,000 users, what does that really mean? Does that mean 15,000 people have put wallet addresses into Mercury?
Yeah, for 15,000 people have signed up, added their wallets, and then clicked on get whitelisted for all. I think we have onboarded like 14 projects so far. Yeah, clicked on whitelist and got verified. All of that.
I see. So, but the issue I see is that it's the users don't really control what whitelisting tools projects are using. So I'd be more interested in knowing how many projects you have on board willing to use this tool. And second, there are all these issues with whitelisting, choosing the DAOs, verifying that people who get on the whitelist are actually part of those DAOs, whether or not you want to do them as a raffle or first come first serve. How you're going to distribute tokens or controlled public whitelists that don't guarantee a mint. So there are all these different variations on what we know as the whitelist meta. And I'm wondering if your tool is flexible enough to accommodate all of those variations.
Okay, so we are first concentrating on whitelist addresses at the moment, and our next step is airdropping SPL tokens. The project can directly do that within the Mercury. We intend to build this out over the next few weeks, extensively. We have 5 devs right now, and we will take on more devs if we have to. And then, yeah, make it more flexible, definitely.
Hey, this is Frank here. Would you mind just going deeper into what I would be receiving if I do hold your NFT? I'm kind of trying to figure out what are the benefits of me holding your NFT.
Yeah. So, like I mentioned, the first. Uh, okay, I haven't really. Okay, like Knox mentioned, right? It felt like I was, talking a lot of points, and I really do have a lot more because I've already built staking, a full-fledged staking platform. Stake.dgods.com, that's active, and that is also one of the thing that we intend to monetize. I've been reached out to like 20, 30 projects for asking me to build this staking platform for them. I could have easily monetized, taken 10 sol for them, to be honest. But I wanted that to be built as a staking as a service, or something that could be used for my own project at a later point. So I've just helped them, but I've not really monetized on it. And so that's the thing. We have multiple ways of monetizing this that I haven't really gotten into. There's tools that Harmony that I've built that could be monetized as well, and anything that we have built will get first access to all of our holders. That's one thing. Early access to all of the tools, of the DAO tooling. And then also, like I mentioned, the if you hold multiple BSL uh, NFTs, you get more weight in the raffles, and you could win raffles and auctions, not just whitelist spots, also NFTs like blue chips from other collections as well.
Thank you.
NF thinks. Was there any questions that you wanted to ask before we open it up to Ricky again?
Um, Look, not really. You strike me as an awesome builder. I just don't necessarily see where the project is versus where like you should just be focusing on building what you're currently doing, and maybe that's um, you know a disconnect right now. You just seem to have some really cool ideas, and you seem super capable and have been building stuff. But I don't see like what you're explaining right now isn't a project. It's just a lot of ideas put together. Um, and you like in this market, you can't go to market that way. It's just like I don't even know what I'm getting from the service right now. I just know that like I'd invest in you as a builder, but that's not an NFT project. To to be fair, like I would love to talk with you after this because I have a million things that like I'd love to get you in on. I just that's where I see this right now.
Okay, I haven't really talked about this anywhere else. Like, if I could answer that question, yeah, it seems like up in the air at the moment for the holders. I understand that, definitely, being honest. So I don't want to really talk about like the future that much. People get speculating on it. Um, if you can go to our Discord server, you can see our past announcement and see all the risks that are involved with investing in our NFT. Because yeah, it involves a certain risk. You have to understand what you're getting into. We could fuck it up and not build the right tools, and not have the right product market fit. We could not monetize it. These are the risks of the NFTs. Like, I don't believe in having like long term 5 year roadmaps because the space changes so much. But yeah, that's one of the things. And another alpha I just wanted to leak quickly is we will do more rounds, and we have already been reached out to like big VC funds that want to invest in our DAO tooling, especially, they're interested in it. We haven't really done that because we have nothing right now about the DAO tooling. We intend to build it next after Mercury, but we haven't. But we do have plans for a second round, Series B, Series C, but we don't want to just go with any VC fund. We want to target the big guys, Solana Ventures, Serum, all of them, big players. That's our goal, and we intend to do an IPO at some point.
But like what you're saying right now makes all the sense in the world as like you incorporating as a business. I just there seems to be a I don't quite understand why you're building a project versus like forming an entity and killing it with VCs, because you clearly are a very good builder, and like even I want you to work on my stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like clearly if VCs are coming at your door, that's an extremely good sign. I just don't see like and I think you'd be super profitable doing it, right? Like that's a great thing. I just like your momentum as a builder versus just a lot of ideation for a project. There seems to be like a disconnect on what you're trying to build versus how you yourself are a builder, and doing really well right now in the space.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, like I mentioned, I'm being honest. We haven't like figured all of the details out. That's just one of the risks, but we will figure them out eventually, for sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot for the feedback.
Thanks a lot to our judges as well for their feedback and good questions. NF thinks if you are having a call with Blocksmith Labs after this, I would love to jump on it with you, and Saigo here as well could jump on. We have probably a million questions as well for Blocksmith Labs.
Right, that's what I mean. Like I want to invest in him.
Yeah, same here as well. Like
we love decentralization, right? I see this as a first round, as a Series C round. That's what I see this as. So when the next round and the Series C happens, I want the first round, the NFT raise. People who have believed us in the beginning. When the IDO happens, I want them to when we have a staking and then we give out tokens. I want the initial believers to have value at a later point when we do more rounds later.
Yeah, if anything, if I might chime in as well, like I think the token and NFT product that you will be rolling out has to make sense. Otherwise, from someone coming from a traditional business world, like a simple LLC structure, and you'll be killing it itself. Like what you have going for you is extremely exciting. But look, let's open it up for final comments and verdicts from the judges.
I can go first on that one. I think you've got something really special here. I love what everyone else has said, that it makes more sense to incorporate as a business and then do builder as a service. And maybe do it by project or by rental fee, or even charge a VIP monthly subscription or something like that. But don't, I would say, like, I mean, this is sounding like advice where I'm saying, like, don't do NFTs because it doesn't make sense to throw yourselves to the wolves like that. But you can do whatever you want. I don't care. I think you've got the capabilities to do it. But if you decide to keep going the path that you're going, my advice would be to sharpen up your elevator pitch. Stay very focused on what it is that your overall mission is, and then some very quick objectives of how you're going to accomplish it. I think it would be really, really helpful to master the elevator pitch, not just for the sake of an elevator pitch, but also for for you to stay focused on it. That being said, I love what you got going on. You're absolutely on my radar.
Yeah, and to reiterate, like if I can invest in you, I'm in. And I want to talk, but I think that's where I stand right now. Which is a super good thing, by the way.
I kind of come out the same place. It's like, when I first saw this project, I thought maybe this was a product that was being offered to project leaders. Like, if you're going to start a project, or if you're already running a DAO, come mint one of these, and then you'll get a bunch of services. And that's kind of what I would want, as someone who spends a lot of time in the Monkey DAO and doing a lot of work in there. Like I know that these services that you're building have a lot of value, and I know that DAOs, maybe the Monkey DAO, I can't speak for them, but DAOs would be willing to pay for this. I don't see the connection to individual minters, buying an NFT. I think if you can solidify that connection before the mint, then you're going to have a lot of success. I know there's already a lot of hype around this project. Just speaking from what's going on in Monkey DAO, the monkeys were super excited when we posted this opportunity, though I don't think any of them can really articulate why. We all just get this sense that like you guys are great builders and the product looks very professional, but you need to solidify the connection between the product, the services that you're building, and the NFT that you're minting in order to have a successful sellout. So for me, this is a watch.
Yeah, to kind of build on that point, I think Ricky hit the nail on the head there. I think you should be targeting projects to be investing in your NFTs, buying your NFTs to access your suite of tools. You can kind of do different tiers or stuff like that, but I think that's more of your focus and more of your target area. And I see more of the success of the business standpoint because you sound absolutely incredible, and I love builders. I love people innovating and creating tools, and I think you have a great set of skills to really create something very unique here. But yeah, I think going the project route, to be able to have the projects work with you and offer yourself your suite of tools, I think that's going to take you way farther in the long run. And you'll be able to maybe in the future release your own NFT collections for other specific things. But I think for now, I think the focus should be looking how you can integrate with projects to offer them your suite of services. So definitely gonna be watching you guys.
All right, I think all the judges have voiced their opinions already. Blocksmith Labs final words, and we're gonna pass it on to NeoNexus and Infenza.
Hey, thanks a lot for the great feedback. Yeah, I've been thinking about this point exactly for a while, and yeah, I think I will write down my thoughts in a presentation on a slide deck or something like that, and then present it to the holders. And yeah, I think it's valuable feedback. Thank you very much.
Awesome stuff. Thanks a lot for coming. Really appreciate your time as well. Judges, I couldn't thank you more for coming this week. I know we're exceeding time limit, but I'm having a good time, and I hope all of you are as well. Let's welcome Jakshi to the stage. He is founder for NeoNexus and Infenza.
Hey, yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I missed the last Shark Tank, but I'm loving how professional it is. I'm loving how creative a lot of these other projects are. I love how professional the judges are. So super happy to be here. So I'm here represent.
Twitter rug you, or are we rugged?
Wait, can you guys not hear me?
I hear you fine, Jack.
Yeah.
Hello?
Ratchet, you getting? Yeah, Jack, you can hear me, right?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you too.
Yeah, I can hear you as well. I think Ratch got rugged by Twitter.
Yeah, I'll message him. You can just keep going. Sorry about that.
But keep going. I think everything's coming back now.
Okay. Were you able to hear what I said earlier? Or
Yep. We caught everything.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell with Twitter. I have Twitter issues myself all the time. But yeah, super happy to be here. So I'm here representing NeoNexus and Misfits, but we'll be pitching Misfits. It's kind of this new project we partnered with Infenza to launch and released. So just very briefly, with NeoNexus, we recently released a video showing what a neighborhood in the city would look like. We have our tokenomics overview released, and we have the entertainment properties being minted at the end of this month. But Misfits, the project, which I'm kind of here to talk about, and if you look at the top, we've pinned up a few tweets. So kind of a short pitch for Infenzia's Misfits. So first of all, this project is a partnership between us and Infenzia, who is the artist and creator of this project. It is a 3D avatar project. These are low poly, animated, fully rigged characters It's a set of 10,000. They have different base models, from like pirate to like a space commander to a skeleton, all kinds of different base models. They have different gear, so that can be like shields or swords or lightsabers that they hold on to, eye patches, hats, grill, things like that. So it just gives you an idea. But it's better if you look at some of the pictures on the Misfits on the Misfits Twitter if you want to see more examples of what the art looks like. So again, they're low poly and Infinzia's art style. He's been modeling these since around May 2020. So it's all original art. It's been done over a long period of time whenever he has free time. And he approached us towards the end of last year to partner to launch this project. So the cool thing about Infinzia's Misfits is that, first of all, when you mint them, they have something like 39 different attributes, which really makes it ripe as an ingredient for other people to build their own projects, games, and worlds based on the Misfits. We really want it to be kind of almost like a board game type character that other people can imagine like games and stories for. Ourselves, we're trying to showcase what that would mean. So we've partnered with a Swedish game company called Throwaway Games. When they worked for a previous company, they worked on a lot of really blockbuster type huge games that you would know of. They've kind of transitioned into their own company. We're working with them to make this. It's going to be an easy to play strategy game. There's like this promo video we've pinned up above as well. We've been working with them for almost 2 months now, and we're going to be continuing with that until we launch the game, and then after that will be support and releasing expansions and stuff of that nature. The other cool thing about the Misfits is we're implementing staking for Mist tokens. So you'll be able to stake these Misfits NFTs on our website for Mist tokens. And essentially the Mist tokens are just going to be a form of utility token that you'll be able to use to buy more packs of like either characters or character parts in the future. So that way, even if you only own one Misfit, you can slowly accrue these tokens and get more for free over time. The name of the game that we're developing is called Misfits Mayhem. That game itself will also have like a free-to-play mode for everybody. But if you own a Misfit NFT, you'll have like more access and more free perks inside the game. And it's going to be blockchain NFT based as well, where you can sign in using your Solana wallet, and your ownership of assets will be tied to that wallet. And I think like the coolest thing about the Misfits is the ability to own one asset that will be integrated into multiple different metaverses and games. So not only are we developing that game with the Swedish studio, once we mint out half of these, Infenzia is going to be running a sort of like game dev competition as well, where anybody, anybody like either you or from outside crypto, it doesn't really matter, can develop a game idea or game concept revolving around the Misfits. And he'll be judging which ones are the most promising. And the most promising one or two or few will work with us. We'll help them with like the blockchain, NFT integration and stuff like that. So we'll be starting that once we mint out about half of them, just to show like the possibility of using these things in games. On the metaverse side, we've already gotten these agreed to be used in Metaversal, in NeoNexus, and in Vishy. We're in talks with multiple other metaverses with integrating these Misfit NFTs into them as well. Right now, when you mint the NFT, it already comes with like the FBX model. We're working on creating the GLB model as well, so that would be pretty much compatible with everything. We're just working out some Blender issues. So all of these are made in Blender, and Blender currently has a very specific issue that makes it hard to export into GLB in the way that we're using it, but we're working on that. So that's like the basic overview of the Misfits. We're happy to answer any questions. Just to step back a little bit, the creator Infenzia, he's fully doxed, and a lot of our team, including myself, are very doxed as well. He's been modeling for, I don't know, like 12, 13, 15 years. I don't know exactly how many years, but he has a popular YouTube channel with like 200,000 subscribers. He teaches other people to 3D model. So he's as legit as they come. And this is a project that he's been modeling for a very long time. And we're so excited to kind of bring this to life and to showcase this work and also support more artists inside the ecosystem. Yep, but happy to take any questions. That was like my 5-minute pitch.
Okay, I guess I'll jump in. So I'm pretty excited about this. This project looks really great. The game, at least looks very good. I'm not quite sure what it is. Maybe you could just tell us a bit more about the actual gameplay.
Yeah. So the game right now is in very, very like early stages. So the best way to learn more about it is to look at the video. But essentially, it's a very simple strategy game. It's kind of like a lane fighter, where essentially you'll almost have like a deck of cards. The cards themselves are based on the Misfit NFTs as well, in terms of artwork. And you place them down on individual lanes, and they'll walk down the lane and fight, other Misfit characters marching down from the other lane. So just a sort of like strategy game, not too dissimilar from, other strategy games we might have played on mobile phones and stuff like that, in the past. That makes sense. And then there will be like certain other things, like you might get boosts based on, what gear your avatar has and stuff like that. And your avatar, which is kind of like, the controller or the person representing you in the game, that's based on the Misfit NFT that you own in your wallet.
I see. And so with these, I saw that there's a token with which you'll be able to mint capsules in the future. Do those expand the supply, or are those just upgrades for the existing collection?
Kind of both. So, this is something we'll decide along with the community as well. So the idea from these capsule packs is just they could be like more characters. They could be just parts parts that you can mix and match in your existing characters. We can do either or, sorry, depending on what the community wants. The artist in Fenzia, he's very happy, modeling more models and things like that, depending on what, we all decide to do. The current like set though is 10,000, and we're minting them out in waves. So far we've minted out about 1,000 of them, and we're planning to do the next wave on Magic Eden. So we're trying to get a date from them.
Is this a play to earn? What's the incentive for playing the game, aside from being fun, of course?
Yeah, so the game itself will also have its own economy. So there's going to be, different sort of like game currency, I suppose you could call them, that you can play the game to earn and use those currency to buy more things inside the game itself. The Misfits NFTs themselves generate these Mist tokens that you can use. But we also like envision like we're trying to use that as like a showcase product, because we really want to inspire other metaverses to integrate these avatars into their worlds. We also want to inspire other people to build games around the Misfit characters, right? That's why they have so many different attributes. That's why we're so happy with working with them. That's why we really want to do like this game dev like competition. We really want to inspire like the Solana ecosystem to start like just building more games and being more creative with it. And so like the game economy inside the Misfits Mayhem game, right? That might not necessarily translate or be related to other games that people might develop. But inside that game itself, yes, they will have a game economy inside the Misfit Mayhem itself.
Cool. My last question here. I wonder about the choice of Misfits as a name. Do you have you heard of the Near Misfits, which is also
Yeah,
a local...
it's so funny. Like so this project, right? Like Infenzia's been working on this for almost 2 years, and we came up with this name like a while ago, and then we learned that there was this project on Near that had the same name and like the same like similar low poly style. But it was complete coincidence. Like funnily enough. Like I think we probably had the name first too, but it's just a complete coincidence.
Yeah, that's how the space goes. In fairness to you, yours look much better. So that'll
Thank
be
you.
my last word.
Yeah, I think we worked. I think the artist spent a lot more time modeling ours as well. It's been really a passion of his for the last 2 years. Yep. And yeah, any other questions? Happy to answer. There's already like some videos where you can see these characters running around in Vichy and Metaversal. We already minted out 1,000, right? So people can actually see these NFTs. When we mint out the next wave on Magic Eden, we're gonna list it on Magic Eden as well, so people will be able to trade it on Magic Eden. Not too long from now.
Hey, Jeff, I had a question for you. So I was checking out project website, and it said
Yeah.
what will the game dev competition be like? And it said like, oh, if you ever wanted to build a game, kind of
Yeah.
whoever wins, you'll give them like a job or an opportunity. Kind of what's the process for that? Like, is it, do they have to use the Misfits to be there, or is it kind of like outside of the scope of the game?
Yeah, so this is for the Misfits, right? So basically, um, Infenzia, the artist, he has his own like Discord channel with I don't know exactly how many users, but a sizable number of users, and a lot of them have joined his community, trying to learn how to model 3D models or trying to build a game because Infenzia is also a game dev, right? And he's the artist. And I've done a Twitter Space interview with him in the past. I've actually met him in person in Sweden as well. Awesome guy. And so the idea behind the game dev is we want to inspire people inside the Solana community, but also inside his own Discord community, just people who wanted to like kind of build a game before and maybe are looking for an opportunity to do that. So we can set aside, part of the mint as a prize for potential winners to win. They would have to build a game that does utilize the Misfit NFT in some way, but it could just be a demo or something, right? It doesn't have to actually, integrate with like a Solana wallet or something like that. But the most like promising demos or games, we'll pick those and we'll work with them to make them like actual games by using our own smart contract blockchain, NFT experience, and teaching them along the way about how to do that. So that's like the basic gist of it.
No, that's really cool. And I guess my next question is, would you ever consider launching a phase with Solana Storm? Because I love your project, man. I think I would love to be a part of it.
It's possible. Yeah, why don't you DM me after the space and we'll chat about it.
Cool.
Yeah, it's definitely possible. Thanks for the questions.
NFTinks and Nox Trades, if you have any questions.
Honestly, there's nothing on my end. Nox, I'll let you take it away.
No, I don't have anything. Gaming's not really my specialty. It sounds really cool. I'm too old for gaming now. It sounds cool. I could be an investor, but yeah.
All right. If that's the case, let's bring up judges' final comments and verdict, and then we'll let Jakshi wrap it up after that.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this project. This is 100% meant for me. I love projects like this where you get a really flexible and cool looking metaverse avatar. You see a lot of metaverse avatars that are just straight ugly these days, and these aren't. So I'm happy to see that. My final question is, are you interested in giving the Monkey DAO some whitelist spots? You can take that question off the air if you like, but I will be reaching out at some point.
Okay, let's do it.
Don't forget Sylvana.
Squares, try to get.
Yeah, I love Sylvana.
But the other smaller.
I'll just say I really love the artwork. I could see myself being attracted to it at some point. Love metaverse style stuff. From a gaming experience, I think I would definitely at least keep my eyes peeled on it. It might be something cool enough to get my old ass back in.
Yeah, I'm super bullish on the project. I love games. I love anything to do with metaverse. I tell Wretch every day that I love Savannah every day. So I'm a huge in the metaverse. I love it. And the fact that we can be in other projects too is pretty awesome. Get a lot of exposure from there. So I would definitely be minting this.
All right, awesome. And any final words from Jakshi?
Yeah, I just want to say like, the Solana ecosystem some time ago, it was all about these kind of 2D pixel like PFP projects, and some of them were really cool, but a lot of them were kind of just copies and stuff. And some of that hype has kind of died down. And now we see this like really resurgence of so many awesome like experimental, and some have like actual demos, but there's like a real like awesome vibrancy in the Solana metaverse space where a lot of people are really trying to build these worlds and games and metaverses and stuff. And I think that really opens up this golden gate opportunity for these, metaverse ready avatar projects, right? Because instead of trying to figure out, hey, which one of these like 12 different metaverse projects do I really want to sit down and research and invest my time in? And obviously I would argue like NeoNexus and Savannah should be two of them that you should check out. But instead of spending so much time researching that, like why not invest in a 3D low poly animated rigged avatar project that will work in many of them, right? Like I feel like there's this golden age of opportunity for these metaverse, like cross metaverse assets in Solana. And just generally as a statement, I'm really bullish about this new space. And I hope there's like, and we're partly inspired by Jellybees, of course. They're the ones who maybe have done it the best so far. But I really hope that more projects kind of take this approach of like, instead of betting on one particular thing, like, why don't we all work together to build more of these projects that will work across metaverses so that regardless of which metaverse is successful or which one survives, you have a project that can survive, long term. So those would be my last words. But yeah, real happy to be here. Thanks for the support, guys.
And with that, we have come to the conclusion for this week's Shark Tank. I want to thank all our participants who came in today, DGen Rugdao, Soul Celsius, Blocksmith Labs, and Infenza. Thank you so much for coming on and being brave enough to actually stand in front of the shark judges here and answer what can be quite difficult questions. For members of the audience, please note that everything the judges say here are not financial advice and your investment profile might be different. We encourage you to follow all the projects that have come on today, learn more about them, reach out to their founders, join their Discord, join in their AMAs, and be active in the communities. For Savannah itself, if anyone is interested in learning more, feel free to hit us a follow, hop on to our Linktree, learn more about our project and what we're doing. But really what we are, besides being a 2D metaverse, is we want to be a space, a safe space for different projects to come on and feel like they belong. Like we want to create a space that different projects can utilize to grow and be part of this cool, vibrant Solana ecosystem. And with that, also note that Savannah may be partnering or may not be partnering with some of the projects that come on this show. And we will be sort of reaching out for a whitelist whenever deemed appropriate. Now, thanks everyone for coming. Thank you so much for our judges. I know all of you are busy people, and thank you so much for taking time out. We do go overtime every single week. Maybe next week we'll bring on 3 projects instead of 4. But 4 seems like a really cool number, and I hope everyone is still having fun with this weekly episodes. Stay tuned for updates next week. Savannah itself will be going through some quality of life changes, new integrations coming soon, new features going to be rolled out pretty soon. And we hope to eventually have talks like this on top of the platform itself. But thank you so much, everyone, for your time. I'm just going to chill here and play the Savannah music, unless the judges have anything to say before we head out and enjoy our nights.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank you for having me. And, again, thank you to the projects. This is a slightly different format for me. Usually I, am just talking with projects and trying to learn more about them versus judging them. And it was fun, but I also just wanted to thank the audience too. Thank you so much for tuning in. You give these projects the views that they desperately need, because realistically you do need that as a project, no matter how good you are. It's all about building that visibility. So thanks for coming in, guys.
Hey, thanks. Absolute pleasure of having you join us this week. Probably I wanted to DM you to thank you as well for coming on, but I think your DMs might be closed at this point in time. But feel free to open them. Definitely want to talk further with what you do as well, and if thanks.
For sure, I'll DM you right now.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm on the same page as Rhett. I would love to get some words with you offline. So, but I just want to thank everyone as well as Rich. I think this show is absolutely incredible. We really do something different here that it really helps the projects both established and upcoming take a new perspective. And I know some of the feedback is critical and crucial, but it does help them become stronger from it. We can really help everyone here, and that's what I love about this space is we're truly trying to drive innovation and help projects become high quality, top tier projects and be successful in the long term. So as always, thank you, Reg. I love being here, and I'm looking forward to many more.
All right, looking forward to the rest of the month as well. We've got an awesome lineup, and we hope some of the judges here can reappear in the future as well as guest judges. I know Ricky here is having a ton of fun, and I hope you as well, NF Tinks, if we may invite you in the future to be a guest judge. And I think we did touch briefly on that as well, Jack, at some point. But thanks everyone for coming. I'm just going to play the music and let's chill out. If you want to head out for the night, you can. If you want to stay here and banter with anyone, you can as well. But thanks everyone for coming.
Thank you.